Hello, Capricorn. Welcome to your weekly reading for May 12th to the 18th. This is for Capricorn, Sun, Moon, and Rising. We're going to jump right in, Capricorn. Wow, we're here. Listen, so I've got it. I might actually have to spend a lot more time with you. I know that you had a long reading last week, and I'm trying to shorten them. But what's happening for you this week will likely be one of the most pivotal weeks for you out of all the signs. And I'm going to tell you why. And I'm going to give you like 5 reasons why. But I just want you to know that, and it's, listen, you probably already know that things in your life are changing. You're on the verge of this really big change. Now, the aspects this week, sure, not as many as we're used to, but they're mighty, okay? And this is a huge week of endings and for fated new beginnings, okay? The most important thing, especially for you, Capricorn, is healing, all right? So this is a big week of healing, doing shadow work, if you choose, right? But for you, it just seems like there will be some, really going within to eliminate things to move forward, right? Leaving things in the past. And again, I'm looking at your chart. There's like 5 million things happening for you specifically. Let's get into it. Okay. Now, of course, these aspects, I'm going to tell you things I didn't tell you in your monthly forecast that I didn't have time for. And I'm going to tell you some things no one else will. I mean, I've got big messages for you. Let's just keep it that way. All right. There are no retrogrades, no nothing. Pluto's retrograde. It's an outer planet, very active though. So inner planets, right? Your personal planets, all of that, full steam ahead. All right. Now, here's the thing. It is going to be a big week of endings because we do kick it off with a full moon in Scorpio. As I said in your monthly forecast, there can be an intensity with a full moon in Scorpio, right? And you will feel it, like I said, this entire week, and you will likely feel it before we even move into the week. And I know that I dropped these forecasts days before the week begins. You will start feeling the full moon in Scorpio over the weekend. So what does this mean for you, Capricorn? Well, the Scorpio rules your 11th house. The 11th house is your support system. It's your networks. It's networking, okay? Your social groups, your communities, groups you belong to. It can be anything. Your LinkedIn community, right? Like just other people are involved. Your squad, your friendships. That's the 11th house. The 11th house is also your future hopes, wishes, dreams, long-term goals, long-term plans, long-term everything, okay? We're thinking about your future hopes and wishes and dreams. That is the biggest thing. Now, why are you going to feel it over the weekend before we even get to the full moon? Because we have a T-square. And it's, to be honest, over the weekend, we do have the moon opposite Mercury, squaring Pluto. So it's not like, let's just say it's just like fixed energy. And it moves. You start feeling it before you move into the full moon. And that is why I'm bringing this up, because over the weekend, you may already be in the process of, okay, I no longer want this in my life, or I'm adjusting things, okay? So by the time we get to the full moon, which is May 12th, that full moon in Scorpio, it's happening around 1 p.m. my time, Eastern Standard Time, New York City time. If you want to convert that to wherever you live in the world, it's at 22 degrees, okay? And I'm going to talk about that because that's really important, and that's why you are involved here. But like I said, a little bit of intensity with a full moon in Scorpio. Emotional intensity. We're talking about the moon, but we're also talking about Scorpio energy, right? So when I say emotional intensity, that can be great passion, all right? Now, it is a full moon. Endings, completions, turning points, but the biggest theme here of all, truth coming to light, all right? That's what the full moon does. It illuminates things you need to see, okay? Secondly, it's a Pluto-ruled full moon. Remember, Pluto is ruler of the underworld, right? What did I just say? It's all out there. It doesn't get any sunlight. So there's darkness involved with Pluto, yeah? It has depth. And so going deep is what you're going to be doing to bring things to the surface, let things be illuminated. And this can be secrets, this can be revelations, this can maybe even be confessions. Or just being honest with yourself about something that has to do with your social network, your future hopes, wishes, long-term goals, or even social media. That's part of the 11th house as well. And we're going to talk about that because you, again, out of all the signs, may feel something in that regard as well. Now, Pluto is transformation. It's 22 degrees. I mean, the Sabian symbol, right? For it just happens to be metamorphosis. What are the chances? Animal to spirit. So you can expect great change coming through this full moon in Scorpio. Caterpillar to butterfly. You got to want it. It's Phoenix rising from the ashes. You got to want it. You got to make those changes by going deep. That's what the full moon is asking of you. Again, with your future hopes, wishes, and dreams. What do you need to adjust? What has to change, right? Now, like I said, it's at 22 degrees. Two things here, okay? 22 is a master number, okay? If you don't know numerology, Pythagoras, it can be your life path number, yeah? It just means that you've got 22 is like having this deep connection with the ether, a force to be reckoned with. It's knowing you have a limited potential. 22 is a master builder. Creativity, discipline, tenacity, leadership, the right confidence to bring your dreams to reality. Being the builder, the engineer of your life journey. So, what are the chances this is happening in your 11th? No one else's 11th house, your 11th house. Okay? Now, is it by chance or just sheer coincidence that 22 degrees in astrology is A, cardinal degree, but B, the Capricorn degree? Now, why do I say is that sheer coincidence? Of course, coincidence is not, it's just like a wink from the universe, right? So this, again, this being at 22 degrees, the degree of hardworking, disciplined, tenacious leadership. What I say about the mass number, right? This is you. This is the Capricorn degree. You can break it down 22 to 4. You want to do that? 4 is structure. It's hardworking. It's disciplined. It's foundation building. Yeah? So this is big. This is a big wink from the universe, especially for you, because this is your degree. So yes, you're involved here. Now, the other thing is, you know that Saturn is your ruler, Capricorn. So Saturn is karma. Saturn is life lessons. There's something here, right? For you, for your karmic journey. Now, I want you to think about 6 months ago, November 1st, 2024, when Pluto was still in Capricorn. This is the corresponding full moon to that new moon in Scorpio. And I want you to ask yourself what happened around that time. Think about the entire month of November. That was a strong new moon, all right? First 2 weeks, if you want to really concentrate on an area, first 2 weeks of November, okay? Well, here's the climax. Here's the turning point. This is you. This is you, okay? You and what you were thinking about your future hopes, wishes, and dreams before you went into your birthday season, right? Your long-term goals and plans, or your social network community, maybe building bridges with a community. Maybe you started one, maybe you joined one. The tennis club of Dallas, Texas, whatever, wherever you want to, right? Your friendships, your squad. But here's the other thing, okay? 2 things. You see what's happening here? It's not on the whiteboard. I'm just going to tell you now. Is it going to surprise you later? I'll tell you now. The moon is going to be in your sign from Thursday, pretty much over the weekend. We'll talk about that in the second spread. This is a big week for you. Okay, Capricorn? And that's why I have to spend a little bit more time with you, because there's going to be some big changes. The other thing I was going to say is that we're in Taurus season, right? And so the sun in Taurus will be opposite the moon in Scorpio. Remember, the moon reflects the sun. That's where it gets its light. Yeah, that's what's happening. The moon's just a rock. It's all that light. It's from the sun, and so that's why it's all about reflection. It's all about going within. It's all about going within, especially when it comes to things that bring you joy and pleasure. your family, children, true love, romance, creative projects, creativity, self-expression, procreation, sex. Okay? That's all. Recreation too. You throw darts. What are your hobby? Whatever you want to do. There's reflection here. What do you want moving forward? Okay? In this new era that you're moving into. Now, the other thing is Capricorn, these signs, Taurus and Scorpio, they're the money houses of the zodiac wheel. And so, yes, around this time, will there be money involved, finances involved? Yes, absolutely. There's also a level of relationships as well. And so money, finances, investments, inheritance, investors, all of that on the table. Just, okay? And remember, everything that's happening over the weekend on the 18th, remember what I said? It's so strong, you're going to feel all that this week. And even, from the beginning of May. So you're already in it. But we'll talk about it because this is the peak. So you feel it strongly. And we'll talk about it, all right? But yes, Uranus is definitely going to be conjuncting the sun during this full moon. You're going to feel that. And again, we'll talk about that. All I have to say is just vibrate at a high frequency. You know I'm going to say that anyway. You know how the law of attraction works. I just got to remind you, okay? Because it is a Pluto-ruled full moon, okay? And it doesn't have to be intense. Again, that's the other thing. You vibrate at a high frequency, you won't even feel. It's just asking you to go within and do that shadow work, okay? Because one thing about this full moon in Scorpio, sure, maybe has a little bit of intensity, but I said it's at 22 degrees. And I will tell you right now, 22 degrees is not always a cakewalk, all right? And so if you are vibrating at a low frequency, if you're letting this full moon really get to you and get you amped up, because look at what's happening on the same day, it's going to be harder for you to attract the things that you want, right? So again, we know how the law of attraction works. There's money involved here. You want money, you got to vibrate it. You got to visualize it. You got to put yourself on that timeline. And this is all for your transformation. It is a full moon. It's time to let things go. Patterns, habits, relationships, jobs, whatever it is, what resonates with you. What doesn't serve you well anymore? What has reached a point of fatigue or an expiration date? Some of this is going to happen naturally. You have it in your 11th house. There may be some friends that it's like, okay, well, this is it. This is it. And it doesn't have to be in a bad way. I mean, it's the fact that like your best friend from, college times when y'all used to, listen to Bon Jovi all the time. Y'all lived next door. She just got married. She's moving to, some island you never heard of. That's a change. You won't see her again for a long time because you can't go down. You work too much. You know what I mean? So it's just preparing, but it's you. All right. It's you. What does not serve you well? Let that be illuminated around this full moon and let's let it go so you can make room for all this new energy coming through. That is what this is requiring of you. Remember, this is the death card. All right. In tarot, Scorpio is the death card. And what is that? Transformation. It's out with the old, in with the new. Okay. But most of all, during this full moon, when I say go deep and let things illuminate, it's just to know what you want moving forward. What is your truth? That's a Scorpio full moon. Okay. Now, it could be anything. Like if you're single, in a relationship, anything with career, anything with money. But again, with you, your networks, maybe social media, and then, your long-term goals, future hopes, wishes, dreams. Okay. And remember, it's all about vibrating at that high frequency. If you have low frequency thoughts about money, for instance, it's going to be harder for you to attract. You got to vibrate at the high frequency. Love, gratitude, compassion, kindness. I talk about this all the time. Have your transformation. What did I say? You got Pluto retrograde. Your transformation comes from within. From within. And Pluto, remember, is an Aquarius for you, Capricorn. That is your second house of money and income. So it's going to be something that's going to be on your mind anyway. And second house is self-worth and self-value. So building that confidence, okay? So I hope that you did see your last week's reading because there was something that was very divine that happened, and you know that it would happen because that just doesn't happen. That's like a 1 in a million thing. I never do that, okay? And you're spread anyway. You know you're moving. And please tell me I told you about HemiSync. Please do that. It's going to really help with this. All right. Now, last thing about this full moon, I told you that it's going to be opposite Uranus. Yeah. Uranus, the great awakener, change, freedom, and breakthroughs. So that Uranus Kazemi, which we'll talk about, you're going to feel now. There's going to be something here. You're going to feel restless. You're going to want to liberate yourself. Use it. Okay. Remember, I say use these aspects. Don't let them use you. Because what can happen during this full moon with Uranus highly evolved here is surprises, unexpected surprises, unexpected announcements, things like that. All right. You take control of your destiny. Now, the fact that Uranus is in Taurus, you know that really does have an impact on you. Okay. You being a fellow, Earth sign, it is in your 5th house. What do you have to share? There's got to be something here with things that bring you pleasure, joy, family, children, true love, romance, things like that. Yeah. But what do you want? What do you need to shake up to have that if you don't have it? Or what do you need to shake up to go to the next level? Creative projects, everything that I mentioned. Yeah. And, there can be some surprises with home, with family, with loved ones, with a female figure in your life. Maybe it's a boss. Maybe it's a, grandparent, whatever it is. There is definitely going to be this rebellious side with Uranus, big revolution as well. Pluto in Aquarius, big revolution. So the fact that the sun is in Taurus, good. That's grounded energy. It can hold you back, right? Not hold your beer, hold you back from doing right? Now, you throw in Mercury square Pluto. I'm not going to go too much in detail. I talked about this in your monthly forecast, but just the big takeaway, remember, this is a speed bump. You handle this well. You vibrate at that high frequency. You get rewarded. You see what happens in 2 weeks from now. Look at your monthly forecast, okay? This is a strong square. You're going to feel it over the weekend. You're going to feel it days after. Mercury, remember, the mind. Yeah? Mercury's the mind. Mercury's communication. Pluto is very psychological. Remember, Pluto goes deep. Deep. And we're very forensic. This is all about you going within for that transformation, for that growth. Remember, Pluto and Aquarius in your 2nd house, self-worth, self-value, right? Now, you got Mercury. Involved here. Remember, Mercury is in Taurus. What brings you pleasure? What brings you joy? What does your heart desire? You got to go deep to connect, okay? Now, this adds, like I said, intensity to the full moon, and therefore it increases the possibility of things coming to the surface with Pluto involved. Revelations, secrets revealed, digging deep, getting to the bottom of things. Yes, within you. It's sure, things come out of the physical world, in your world, yeah. But you, don't be afraid to let things come to the surface. Be the phoenix rising from the ashes. Let things go. That's the most important thing. Secondly, because it's a full moon, right? You want to let things go because things are going to be illuminated. Scorpio is a very intuitive sign. Use your intuition. That's what the moon is. It's intuition. So there is going to be this high degree of gut instincts that comes out around this time. Trust your instincts and do that shadow work. Do that healing. Do that intuitive work. Mercury is in Taurus. It's squaring Pluto. Mercury can be in Taurus, inflexible, a little bit resistant. Especially, remember, Mercury being the mind in terms of thinking, okay? And it can be, an extreme aspect, all right? Can even, be fighting words or thoughts, power struggles, jealousy. It doesn't matter if it's love, family, work. Where is it for you? Where is it for you? Yeah? That's what's happening here. It can be very, very like You've Got Mail or The Proposal. If we're here for love, and a lot of y'all are, it's in your 5th house. Okay? Here's the other thing. It can be too much control, wanting too much power. especially with relationships and money. Remember, Taurus is a finance sign. Yeah. All right. It's also troll energy. I told you about social media. Okay. So that's why I'm bringing it up for you, because you got the North Node and Saturn and Pisces in your third house too of the internet. So trolls are going to be coming out to play, because this energy, Mercury square Pluto, is very, I refuse to do shadow work. I'm always right. I'm not going to change. And I'm going to put all my dark energy on in the chat, in the comments, in the wherever, right? So that's going to affect you. So remember, trolls stay hidden for a reason. They're, you know what I mean? Pluto's that darkness I was talking about. They're in the shadows. Even like bots are coming out hard and on the rampant. Anyway, the reason I'm pointing this out is because it's in your two houses of social media, internet, writing, communication, and just keep that in mind. You don't want to listen. This is a Scorpio full moon. What is Scorpio? The scorpion, the stinger, right? The stingers can come out. Pull them in. Be responsive, not reactive. Take the high road should anything happen, right? I'm just preparing you. I'm saying this is possible, and it can be possibly you. So remember, you're on a karmic journey. You create your path, your reality. Use Mercury square Pluto to empower yourself. That's what it is. Pluto's empowerment. It's great for leadership or concentration on something that you're working on. And I told you, it's very psychic. It's very intuitive. It's very sharp. Use it to empower others. I told you, I've got Mercury square Pluto. I use it my birth chart. I've worked with this my entire life. I'm living proof. You can use this. It has a really good BS filter too. No one can deceive you with Mercury square Pluto. So vibrate at that high frequency. Use this to be the best version of yourself, okay? You're at a 10. People this day could be trying to bring you down from your high frequency. Don't stoop to their level. What do I always say? Bring them out of their high frequency. That's the greater good. That's karma. That's great frequency. That's what you want to do. Be open-minded and flexible too in terms of letting things go. Yeah? I talked about shadow work. Now, look at what's happening. So with what's happening here, there's almost, and then looking at your chart, there's almost a guarantee you will be doing it. Even if you don't realize you're doing it, you'll be, and why? Saturn, your ruling planet, is with the North Node, with Rahu. Yeah, Saturn, karma, North Node, your future, destiny, your mission statement, and you got Pluto retrograde. I already told you that. That's about going within. You got Jupiter squaring the nodes, which we'll talk about. Jupiter sextile Chiron, which we'll talk about. This is just when they perfect. And this is strong, and this is slow, meaning, yeah, you will 1,000,000% start feeling it this week. It started ramping up last week, okay? And don't forget, you got Virgo South Node. That's active. That's getting rid of that perfectionist, self-critical, I'm hard on myself energy. We're letting it all go. As you move into this new world, Virgo rules the nervous system, by the way. Mercury ruled, right? So there's with the Uranus Cazimi, you could feel a little restless. And that's for you. It's saying, hey, let's let this go. Why am I feeling restless? Because it's this that's making me, and I need to let it go. Okay? So don't be afraid to go deep and be in touch with your emotions and to heal. It's okay to cry. It's okay to shout at the walls, to face things that are hard to face. That's what shadow work is. We're human beings. We were built with a range of emotions, so it's okay to feel those. Just don't get stuck in low energy frequencies. Clear them out. Make room, okay, to grow. Spend time in nature. Please do that, all right? Connect with the ether, your prana chi. Do Tai Chi. Go get a massage. Go treat yourself. Yeah? Now, one thing we're going to talk about in the second spread, but I will just tell you now, one of the reasons why this full moon in Scorpio is going to be really strong is you got it's conjuncting Juno. It's conjuncting Juno tight. Okay, very, very, very tight. And this will be the last time until 2028. Juno, as we know, as I've mentioned, where we talk about asteroids, planetoids, the Roman goddess of marriage. Juno, who complements Venus, who's linked to Libra, who fights for justice and commitments and marriage and contracts and fidelity, infidelity, betrayal, legal matters, personal relationships, even wealth. So there's that extra layer of dynamics here with this Scorpio full moon for you, situationships, love triangles. It doesn't matter. Your boss, but also remember, heavy emphasis on your networks, your support system, benefactors, allies, friendships. Okay? So use this. It's all about Juno's giving you that power. The power, the balance of power in relationships, or power of balance, is all about truth and about justice. That's all it is. Okay. Now, why am I bringing up Juno? Because that's not it. Juno is negotiating with your North Node right now at a really tight degree, just 1 degree apart. Yeah. So you're going to be having conversations this week. You are going to be communicating. Remember, that is your third house at communication, and you're going to be processing a lot of things in terms of fairness and truth for yourself. Okay. Now, remember what I just said, that November 1st, I told you to look back at that the new moon. Now, what happened 2 days after that on November 3rd? Juno moved into Scorpio. Okay. And just did a little quick, dip in the toes in Sagittarius, but then back into Scorpio. So what are the chances? Juno comes back right in time for the corresponding full moon to give you power. Yeah. Now, Saturn, your ruler, is still with the North Node, as I said, and you are going to feel this strongly. Remember, you had that Saturn North Node conjunction that you went through. Congratulations. That was strong. Your North Node is in Pisces, right? In your third house. Okay. And this is for all Capricorns. You've got it different in your chart, or maybe you have it in your North Node is in Pisces. You're going through your nodal return. I did a whole video on that. But here's the thing. Saturn is leaving Pisces, as we know. Your ruler is moving into Aries next week. So right now, Saturn is saying, what is the structure you're building for your destiny? Okay. Your mission statement, your purpose. Saturn, like I said, is making things easy for you right now. Okay. And you just, again, this is a time to build in terms of how you want to communicate, writing projects, research, launching new things, new business, being curious about things, teaching, learning, travel, family, all of that on the table here, all on the table for you. All right. As he builds, and then he's going to move into a new sign next week, which, obviously we'll talk about, but this is Saturn, not only with the North Node, but with Sirius as well. The other, I've talked about Sirius, planetoid, right? Strong. You're going to feel Sirius strongly. And I'll tell you why, but all of them is sextiling Uranus and Taurus. I told you this is going to be amazing. Again, you're going to feel this. What brings you joy and pleasure, family, children, creativity, true love, romance. Now, Saturn and Uranus are working together for this new vision for you. Uranus, remember, breakthroughs, innovation, breaks things down for this. It's rebuilding. Remember, that's what's happening, especially with the full, the master builder here with the full moon. So, because things will break down. Yeah, things will break down for you to have this breakthrough. Remember, Neptune's already in Aries. And a whole new home. Neptune is dissolving your old vision. So this is all about your future. And again, we will talk about it in the second spread, because the moon is going to trine Saturn, Sirius, the North Node, all in Pisces. Okay. And this is going to be really big. All right. Remember, Sirius is it's motherhood. It's divine feminine. It's self-care. It's nurturing. That's why there's a lot of healing, shadow work energy here. Also, like nurturing yourself, others, agriculture, food, things like that. Now, like I said, Saturn has a sense of authority with the full moon. But why am I harping on Saturn so much? Not only because Saturn's a ruler, but like I said, you got the moon in your sign this weekend. And when Saturn moves into Aries next week, all right, he is going to make you leave old structures and patterns and ways of thinking and systems behind for these new ones. Like I said, out with the old, in with the new. And it's not like a hard, it's gradual. All right. It's gradual. Now, what did I say about Saturn being with Ceres, right? Your ruler that's in Pisces with the North Node. Well, May 16th, Ceres will move into Aries. Okay. This is a big deal. That's your fourth house. So everything is moving into the foundations of your life. Okay, remember we talked about the number fourth house, right? So home, family, loved ones, real estate even. Real estate matters. A lot of y'all are moving, thinking about home, doing renovations. There's something here, maybe even moving overseas. There's something here. There's something big. Overstate, there's something big. Maybe someone moving in, maybe there's something happening with your grandparents. I mean, it is ancestry too, right? Your roots, or your children, grandchildren. Just watch, all right? It's wonderful what's happening here, all right? Because remember, Saturn brings that structure, stability, long-term commitments. Now, what did I just say about Ceres? Ceres moved into Pisces in February, right? Just in time to join that once in a lifetime, 6, 7 planet conjunction over that 0 degree point, right? That big wave we've been riding. Yeah. Now Ceres is going to join Saturn and Neptune in Aries for the entire year, till 2026. What are the chances that Ceres is moving into Aries at the same time Saturn and Neptune happen? So at this point, and I have to make this clear, and I've been trying to make this clear, you can see there is a higher power at work here, steering you, helping you, guiding you. Yeah? And don't forget, next week, oh my goodness, you got Venus trine Mars. Yeah, you know about these cosmic lovebirds, but money stuff for you. Home, money, all of that, real estate. Anyway, that's a big emphasis. We'll talk about more like next week, but I'm just saying that because you're feeling it now, okay? The sun will sextile Saturn. You're feeling it now. Now, for this full moon, cross watchers, if you watch for your rising, your moon, or for your sister, husband, whoever it is, right? Your bestie, fixed signs, Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, Aquarius, will feel this day the most. If you know your birth chart, your natal chart, and I'm going to give it a wide orb here, right? Because Uranus, right? If you have any planets between 20 to 27 degrees in any of the fixed signs that I just mentioned, or Virgo, or Pisces, or Capricorn, you'll feel it. And I'm throwing Capricorn, I'm throwing you there because of Saturn. And I mean, you are a fellow Earth sign. But hey, listen, you, with what's happening here for Capricorn, that's sextiles and trines based on your whole sign. So it's amazing what's happening for you. Then remember, May 15th to the 18th, moon in your sign. We'll talk about the second spread because you got to look at the aspects. And I got to tell you about some of these aspects that are happening. And then May 17th, you got Mercury square Mars. Mercury in Taurus square Mars and Leo. Again, not going to spend so much time here. You're going to feel this days before, days after. It's strong. It's amplifying the Uranus Cazimi. This only happens once a year, by the way. All right? So you only have to, it's just a once a year thing. Mars is like a laser. Yeah? And remember, Mars is in Leo, which can be pride and ego. It's all about me. It can be reckless. It can weaponize the powers of Mercury, words and thoughts. And, words can be exchanged around this time. There can be tempers, flaring, being impulsive, hasty, rushing through decisions, thinking before you speak. That type of energy. Yeah? Jumping to rash conclusions, competitive energy. And Mars and Leo, that's your 8th house. Okay? Capricorn. So 2 things here. 1, the moon will be in your sign. But we'll talk about this. You're going to feel. Okay? Again, second spread. Secondly, what did I say about the full moon in Scorpio? Okay? That's 8th house energy, Mars and Leo in your 8th house. So you see the overlap that's happening this entire week in your 8th house of death and rebirth and transformation and money and wealth building. Okay? and personal and your relationships. So with this aspect, yes, it can be a little challenging. But like I said, you vibrate high frequency, you're not even going to feel it. But if you do, just be diplomatic and listen, right? Listen and agree and smile. It's for everyone on earth is going to feel this. It affects everybody, but in different areas of their life. Okay. And so this is one of those aspects. Like if you go on that roller coaster ride, the ticket guy says, "Oh, sorry, you can't wear Tevas for this roller coaster." There's going to be a party that's going to be like, "Mrr." No, you're going to smile. You're going to say, okay, another time. Because remember, your ruling planet is with the North Node. You're going to go to another ride. And that's because you're vibrating at this high frequency, right? And avoiding that trap. You're going to have, you're going to be rewarded, okay? You're going to go another ride. The ride operator is going to turn out to be your soulmate or that investor you've been looking for. Maybe it's the son of an investor. Who knows? Or the person that you're sitting next to on the ride happens to be Brad Pitt. Whoever, right? It says, "Oh, I got a role for you in a movie that I'm going to do." You never know, especially with the Uranus Cazimi. So always vibrate at that high frequency. And yes, I said in your monthly forecast, this is physicality. Exert this energy. It's a buildup of energy. Do some gardening, do some karate, do some karaoke, go to the beach. Nature heals, okay? Now, Mercury will be opposite Juno, by the way, so there could be something here with a friendship or a group that you belong to. So fixed signs, Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, Aquarius, Aries, Gemini, and Virgo will feel this the most. Planets between 10 to 16 degrees in fixed signs, if you know your chart. You will feel this. Vibrate at a high frequency. You're going to be fine. Yeah? Now, on the 17th, 18th, depending on where you live, because remember, a lot of these aspects happen like, stroke of midnight, things like that. Sun conjuncting Uranus. Here we are. Okay. So unless you live for the next 84 years, this is the last Uranus Cazimi in Taurus in our lifetime. You've had it here, Capricorn, since 2018. You had shakeups and unexpected things when it comes to love, when it comes to romance, creativity as well. Family and children. But have you been having fun since 2018? Have you been having fun? Fifth house is joy and pleasure. Uranus has been shaking things up. So there were moments where there could have been things like, oh, what's going on? And I'm not saying you didn't have fun. Not at all. I'm just saying Uranus in Taurus does not do so well. It does so much better in Gemini, where Uranus is going to move in 2 months. And this is really great for you. But just now, expect a little bit. The Uranus in Taurus, or this Cazimi, by the way, very stimulating. It is very unpredictable. But here's a secret about Uranus Cazimis. It's you. It's you. It's Uranus Cazimi is saying you break things down for your break things. You shake things up. Uranus is the great awakener, freedom, rebellion. Remember, do something different here. Break from routine. Have your breakthroughs. So every time you have this, every year since 2018, it was asking you, hey, if you feel bored or if you feel like you're meeting your soulmate or whatever it is, shake things up. Do something different. And this is the last one we'll have. And it's going to open doors for you because look at the period we're moving into. And so please use this. It's innovation. It's change, period. Remember I said the chance of sudden, unexpected change are very, very, very high. It can be the Tower card or it can be the Wheel of Fortune. What frequency do you want to vibrate at? All right. You have a sliding doors moment. You never know. This is in your fifth house of true love and romance. This and children, like y'all gonna be having babies unexpectedly, maybe too. Just FYI, it's in your fifth house. But also, and again, that can be grandkids. It's can like things like that. It could be like if you've been trying to have a baby and hey, there's that possibility right here because it is in your fifth house of procreation. And it is the last one, and it is a big one because it's at a late degree. Okay. And so whatever happens here can be subtle, it can be big. It's just you breaking free. That's all it is for something that you need to break free from. That's why you got to go within, okay? Something might be overdue here too, all right? So just so you know, it's at 27 degrees. That's strong. Remember, that's 9, all right? We all know. I've talked about the number 9, but it's a mutable degree. It's a Gemini degree. It's the degree of communication, curiosity, learning, being very open to new experiences, which is why I believe whatever happens around this week is going to be you and the breakthrough that you want because things are illuminated for you with this full moon in Scorpio. Pay attention. Jupiter is in Gemini. Pay attention to these Jupiter aspects, okay? So again, you already have a big window open with Venus trining Mars next weekend. You're feeling it now. Sun, sextile Saturn, you're feeling it now. All right. So Jupiter square the nodes, just so you know, Jupiter, Jove, king of the gods, right? Optimism, always squeezes something good out of something. All right. So that's the big thing here. That's what I want you to know. You're going to feel it this week. There could be this great fated opportunity with the potential to go big and expand and have good luck and fortune around something. But it's more about like changing your perspective too. You could have been feeling this all month. All right. And you could have been, it could have already happened. It could have already happened in your third house of communication, of everything that I mentioned, your local community, contracts, agreements, research, like everything that I said, writing a book, maybe things like that, internet stuff, social media stuff, siblings, family, neighbors, travel. All right. Now, you could be in the expanding phase now, or because it's perfecting now, every Capricorn's different. You could be feeling it now. Okay. For the next 2 weeks after, put yourself out there. It's the karmic node of fate with luck, with the planet of luck and wisdom and growth and expansion. Remember, Jupiter is faith. Yeah? Jupiter, Sexon, Chiron, we talked about this. This is just, unblocking your chakras, doing healing work, inner healing for old wounds, okay? Places where you feel most vulnerable. It can be trauma healing, mindset healing, spiritual healing, whatever it is. It's Jupiter. You got opportunities for growth here to help you heal. Jupiter's got you. By the way, remember, Eris is on top of Chiron. We'll talk about the second spread. But remember, Chiron is an Aries in your fourth house. So you see how there's this builder energy in terms of the foundations of your life, you moving into this brand new foundation. Now, what's really big here? Saturn, like I said, is separating from the North Node, okay? Moving into Aries next week, joining Neptune, okay? This is that new world. All right. Uranus moving to Gemini very, very soon. Jupiter changing signs next month in Cancer, where it's exalted, where you're going to have the most luck that you've had in partnerships and relationships, in legal matters, in marriage in 12 years, the most luck in 12 years. Oh, yeah. Yeah. The sun and Uranus, sextiling Saturn, karma, right? With the North Node, destiny. Last time in Pisces, like, you have no idea. You're good. There's so much happening here. Oh, by the way, Jupiter with the nodes and sextile Chiron. Remember, Jupiter is in Gemini, like I said, in your sixth house. So everyday activities, work, your lifestyle, your routines. What do you do on a daily basis, right? And sixth house is health matters, okay? Remember, we do have that South Node in Virgo. We do have a lot of healing energy, shadow work that's happening around this time. The Uranus Cazimi alone, fixed signs, will feel that the most. If you have any planets between 24 to 29 degrees, especially Taurus, right? But in any of the fixed signs, and Pisces and Virgo. Or if you have 0 to 5 degrees in Aquarius or Aries, you will feel this strongly, okay? But every sign will feel it immensely. All the modalities are involved here over that really strong weekend. One other thing I'm going to say that I'm looking for you, on that Sunday too, the moon will conjunct Pluto brings a little bit more intensity, okay? But more about seeking the truth. We'll talk about the second spread. Capricorn, let's get started. See what's going on for you. May 12th to the 18th. Capricorn, can I do a time check? Oh gosh, Capricorn, y'all crack me up. What are y'all doing? Y'all are amazing. I do a traditional Celtic cross spread, offers the best overview. Yeah, especially for a weekly reading. And if we need to pull clarifiers, you know that we will. Secondly, Capricorn, you know I love y'all. This is a big week for you. And I'm here for you. Oh, and yes, I did. Oh, you know what? I'll talk about later. Let's get started. Capricorn, oh, can you see because of the sunlight? You know, I have a system here. Are you ready for my system? By the way, you like my Venus flytrap that I got? Little wise owl. Yeah, I'm shaking things up too. Okay. Let's do this system that I talked about. All right. Now you can see. All right. So there we go. All right. So Capricorn, yeah, it does look like this is so, this is, I feel this, and you're going to feel this, and you're good, and you're fine. You're going to be fine, but we need to talk. Okay. You got the Four of Cups. What did I say earlier? What do you want? What brings you pleasure? Do that healing, because that's what this card is. You got the Four of Cups. Okay. What did I say about the number 4? All right. Now this is cups, emotions, feelings, love, relationships, all of that, intuition, even wonderment. He's got his arms crossed. He's crossing off his heart. Is there something here with partnerships or relationships? This card is attributed to Moon in Cancer. Okay. Remember, Cancer is your opposite sign. So those are big themes. Juno's at play. We have a full moon in Scorpio. What do you want? What are you not satisfied with? Okay. What can you do to open up your heart? Remember, all it takes is gratitude, it's all that high frequency energy. This is having that appreciation and that gratitude. And then you see things opening up for you. Okay. We talked about karma. We talk about frequency. Okay. Gratitude. The most important thing with this card. This is saying that this card, this card is associated with like boredom, apathy, and that really, I'm like, meh, right? And so you got to ask yourself, what do I want? What do I need to shake up with this Uranus Cazimi in my 5th house of things that bring me pleasure and joy? Yeah, emotional, happy, all of that. All right. So that's all it's saying. Because you may be going into this week where something I'm intuitively picking up on for some of y'all may have already happened, where it's like, okay, well, now I'm in this situation. No, you got to say the universe is taking care of me. This is me learning something on my karmic journey and hashing in my karma points. That's what's going to happen. That's what's going to, yeah. 9 of Wands in the heart of your spread. All right. This is you hanging in there. This is just saying, don't give up. You got this. You really got this. All right. You're going to have a lot of deep healing. Things are going to be illuminated, and you're working hard, and you're Capricorn. You're the hard worker. That's why you got that 22, that degree appointed to you, right? Hard working, discipline, all that. But this is saying, hey, I've gone through some things. I may be going through some things, but it don't matter. Keep throwing curveballs at me, because nothing's going to knock me down. I got this. Okay. Look at him standing in front of the wands, protecting everything that he has worked hard for, everything he is passionate about, put all his heart and soul and blood, sweat, tears into. He got gauze on his head. Okay. So that's the one thing here. All right. When I look at what's happening, sure. Just hang in there. All right. Don't give up. You're going to be fine. Know your worth. You got the Hermit in your challenge area. 2 things. You got to go deep. You got to go deep this week. Okay? Because this week, yeah, sure, it may be a little cerebral. You need to make it visceral. You need to feel. All right? With the Hermit in your challenge area. What I say about the gauze, sure, it's indicating a lot of things here, but look at your entire spread. It's covering his 3rd eye. Okay? You got your heart chakra closed off. You got your 3rd eye chakra closed off. You got to trust your intuition. Be in touch with your emotions. Second thing, there's 1000%. There's someone that you are going to know this week, but a lot of you already know it. And that may be the thing that you're just like, ah. Someone in your life may not be the best person to, maybe get advice from or wisdom from, or there's got to be someone that you intuitively know when you're in touch with your intuition. Again, a lot of y'all already know it, but that's where the shadow work comes through. You haven't let that go. There's someone in your life that may not be the greatest influence, that may be, again, leading you in the wrong direction. You have to know this is your life. You got to do but you could only know when you trust yourself and you trust your intuition and you trust the fact the universe is doing things for you, opening doors for you. So take that time. There may be someone that's just not the right. Okay? Keep that in mind. We got to let it go. And by the way, the Hermit is Virgo. What I say, we got the South Node Virgo. You got to let things, that's letting things, letting things go. And Virgo does rule your 9th house of spirituality and wisdom and beliefs and perspective. So again, A, you got to do that work because you got to make that shift. B, someone in your life not giving, it's just, you got to recognize, I can't. And I'm not telling you to completely cut things off. Remember, this full moon in Scorpio, already there is that where there's an ending or turning point with a friendship or a group or a community, benefactor, ally, things like that. Okay? This is now triple affirming. There's just got to be changes, and it's up to you on what that change is. But you got to recognize it. You got that 4 of Pentacles in your crown. I don't mind it. That's your card. It's Sun in Capricorn. Okay? So again, that's on your mind. Structure, building structure, finances, money, security, moving forward. Okay? Just don't let the money own you. Okay? That's all it is. You got, and I'm going to show you something here. You see the crown on his head, or the pentacle on his head, on his crown chakra. You see he's holding the crown against his heart, closing off his heart chakra. And then you see him standing on the pentacles. He's disconnected from earth. Like I said, it's not a bad thing. You got to look at your entire spread. It's just saying, don't let this money own you. Don't let finances, your physical world, don't let it all, keep you. Because you got justice in the root of your spread. That there's a lot happening here. In terms of, deep down inside, something may not be fair. Deep down inside, there may be a part of you that is saying, am I doing the right thing? Should I do this? Should I make this change? Justice, like I say, it is associated with karma. What did I say karma is? Karma from Sanskrit is action. You got to take that action. She's got the sword for a reason, the skill in the other hand for a reason. Okay. So you got to use that sword to cut anything you don't need in your life. Okay. And this is all part of your karmic journey. Okay. Saturn, karma is your ruler. Okay. You've worked with Saturn your entire life. You can make this happen. Not a lot of people know. This card is attributed to Libra, by the way. Not a lot of people know that Saturn is exalted in Libra. And I'm helping people understand that, okay? Because it's a whole thing. Libra, partnerships, relationships. I said that's going to be a big thing this week, okay? And it doesn't have to be. No, remember I said it's legal matters too. You got to judge here. It doesn't have to be any of that. It's in the root of your, it's like deep down in your gut, your solar plexus. It doesn't even matter. That fire in the belly, right? What is it in your gut? In your gut is telling you, I got to do the right thing. I got to do the right thing. I can't listen to this person here if, that resonates with you. And this is not it's you. Okay. The truth comes within you. This is true perception, being honest with yourself. Okay. And it can be career. You got a lot of career stuff happening. Jupiter, as I mentioned, your success at work. And then you've got even this, justice being Libra. That is your 10th house of career. 6 of Pentacles. There you go. Big. Now, that's why I was like, this is really crazy because this is a type of week where it's very 6 of Pentacles. Very 6 of Pentacles. Yeah? This is, the second decan of Taurus. It's a Taurus card, by the way. We are in Taurus season. There's Uranus, Cazimi, and Taurus. So again, when you look across your cross, what do you have to in this? Sure, don't give up. Never give up. But also at the same time, ask yourself, am I holding on to something that I do need to let go? Am I not trusting? Yeah, look at everything happening here. Anyway, you have the Six of Pentacles. So you make that recognition. You trust your intuition. You'll be fine. Look at all the support. If you're seeking support, it's coming. It's coming. You got to make room for it, though. You see the very philanthropic man? 6 is harmony. This is harmonizing. It's pentacles, money, wealth. It's a week of that. But also your physical world, something in your physical world, right? You got the only 2 cards in all of tarot where they hold the scale for balance. Yeah? You know it's deep down inside you. You take that action, whether, you hold in there knowing something that you want is coming because you've taken that inspired action, or you ask yourself, am I defending something a little too much that I know deep down inside, I got to let it go? You got that Six of Pentacles waiting for you. This is spirit. This is like generosity of spirit too. Okay, let's get to your stuff. Okay, Capricorn. If you like this reading, it would be great if you like, subscribe, leave comments. Tell me what's going on. Big week for you. Big week for you. Okay, a lot of it's just healing. That's all it is. But making room. Remember, out with the old, in with the new. And the thing I was going to tell you, finally, and I'll make this quick. Finally, after a year, I think it's been 2 years, because I got a lot of your comments, and I'm so happy to announce I finally updated the designs in my merch store. So all that, like the You're Good, all that, like the mugs and the shirts and like everything. So check that out. I know it took forever. I'm sorry. I'm a one-man team, but I love the designs. My friend did them, and they're amazing. So I listen to your comment. I don't know how to do design. I'm like, this is what subscribers want. Y'all are amazing. Let's see. Okay, you got to let things go. You got the Three of Swords. Okay. And again, this is just really interesting to me as I do these readings all week. And these 3 cards have been coming out the most, okay? Three of Swords. Remember, it's a full moon in Scorpio. There's going to be endings. It may be hard. It may be hard for you to end things. But at the end of the day, remember, it's making room. Yeah? Three of Swords. You're going to go through some emotional experiences this week, okay? But remember, don't get stuck in those energies. Use it to empower you, knowing you did the best. You did... It's all in the name of being the best version of yourself, serving the greater good, all of that. Okay? This is maybe something with partnerships, relationships, legal matters, another Libra card. This card is actually attributed to Saturn in Libra. That makes it strong. You got the Five of Pentacles, okay? And your external factors area. So whatever you're feeling, if you feel that someone's holding you back, or you feel that something's not right in a situation, there may be something here with health as well. There may be something here with money and finances. It is Pentacles, but remember your physical reality, right? Something with things that do bring you pleasure and joy. Are you not feeling that with the Four of Cups, the Five of Pentacles, right? But remember, you got that Six of Pentacles in your future. And so what do you have to do to recognize that? You got this entire support system. Even the universe or your guides or wherever you get that support. All right. So there may be something that's truly changing here. But remember, it's all about breaking free for your freedom. Okay. And for big change. Page of Pentacles. Yeah, I know that you want new things. That's just saying you want new things. Okay. A lot of new things that y'all are moving into anyway, because you're making it happen. Right. You're manifesting the new job, new career, new business, the new relationship. Remember, Pentacles are your physical, something like the new home, whatever you want. He's the biggest student too, so you are ready to learn. And anything new you go into, you got to learn anyway. Your card, the Devil, and your final outcome, and that's it. Remember, that's everything that I just said. for the first 30 minutes, shadow work. You got to do that shadow work. What do you have to let go? There's something that you're going to have to confront. This is now affirming. You will have to confront something this week. And it doesn't have to be hard. It doesn't have to be. It's just like taking 5 minutes out as you pour water on the soil in your garden and think, yeah, the relationship with, my tutor isn't working. I need a new tutor. Whatever, obviously it's going to be bigger. This is your card. You see the two people from the Lover's card, Chained to the Devil. So again, another wink and nod to partnerships, relationships, legal matters even, by the way, okay? And it doesn't have to be love. Like I said, is that a toxic boss? Toxic colleague? What's going on with your life? Who's taking up your energy? Who's got you chained? This card, what did I say about that full moon in Scorpio with Mercury square Pluto, right? Obsessions, jealousy, codependency. Those are those themes. And same thing here. But this is just you knowing there's something you got to break free from. Yeah? With the Uranus Kazemi, but Uranus is being active all week. Break free. But you got to know what those chains are. You can't ignore them. You got to recognize, yes, there are some chains. Man, I got to just break free from them. Okay? So, yeah. So, with that coming up and your final outcome, a lot of this is going to be you, as in, like, you're holding on to something that you're going to, look, we got to make some changes. But remember, you've got so many amazing things happening for you, like, as you move into this next week. But also, you got Jupiter on your side with the North Node, with Chiron, which is all about doing that deep healing and the foundations of your life and home and family, your significant other, children, grandparents, whatever it is. But you got work stuff big time too. You got to know, and you got to break free. And then you're good. And then you're good. So Capricorn, thanks so much. I've gone way over. If you like this reading, it would be great if you like, subscribe, leave comments. Tell me what you want. Tell me what you want. No, tell me what's going on. Sure, tell me what you want. But yeah, just remember, you've got to. This is vices, addictions, bad behavior, pessimistic thinking, whatever resonates with you. But there is a sense of let's break free from that, and you got to do that shadow work, right? You already know. That's the thing. All right, so the other thing is next week we'll talk. Oh gosh, second spread. We are gonna go really deep here. I'm gonna pull more cards. I'm gonna do a spread just on the full moon alone. I'm gonna walk you through these asteroids, planetoids, how they're gonna affect you. Remember, moon's in your sign, and we have an amazing golden triangle that's happening. It's going to be, and you're involved. So tier 3 members, you know where to find the link. Anyone's welcome to join. Capricorn, y'all are basic. I love y'all. Thanks so much. And I will see you next week. All right. Thank you. Bye-bye.